Sometimes when you get on a low-calorie diet and you get stuck, it isn't the diet that needs a tweak, but an unrelated outlier factor such as water, sleep, and stress. Let's dive right into the first one, water. Drinking water increases the number of calories you burn, which is known as resting energy expenditure. In adults, resting energy expenditure has been shown to increase by 24 to 30% within 10 minutes of drinking water, and this lasts at least 60 minutes. A study of overweight women examined the effects of increasing water intake to over 1 liter or 34 ounces per day. They found that over a 12-month period, this resulted in an extra 4.4 pounds of weight loss. Since these women didn't make any lifestyle changes except drink more water, these results are actually very impressive. Additionally, both of these studies indicate that drinking 17 ounces of water results in an extra 23 calories burned. On a yearly basis, that sums up to roughly 17,000 calories or 4.4 pounds of fat. These results may be even more impressive when the water is cold, because when you drink cold water, your body uses the extra calories to warm up the water to body temperature. Additionally, some people claim that drinking water before a meal reduces appetite. There actually seems to be some truth behind this, but almost exclusively in middle-aged and older adults. Studies of older adults have shown that drinking water before each meal increases weight loss by 4.4 pounds over a 12-week period. In one study, middle-aged, overweight, and obese participants who drank water before each meal lost 44% more weight compared to a group that did not drink more water. Another study also showed that drinking water before breakfast reduced the amount of calories consumed during the meal by 13%. Although this may be very beneficial for middle-aged and older people, studies of younger individuals have not shown the same impressive reduction in calorie intake. Nevertheless, it's always a good idea to drink more water. The second outlier factor I'd like to cover is sleep. Short sleep, usually defined as fewer than 6 to 7 hours, has been reportedly linked to a higher body mass index or BMI and weight gain. One analysis of 20 studies including 300,000 people found a 41% increased obesity risk among adults who slept fewer than 7 hours per night. In contrast, sleep was not a factor in the development of obesity in adults who slept longer, 7 to 9 hours per night. Another study found short sleep duration to be significantly associated with greater waist circumference, which is an indication of the accumulation of belly fat. Getting enough sleep may help prevent increases in calorie intake and appetite that can happen when you're sleep deprived. Many studies have found that people who are sleep deprived report having an increased appetite and higher daily caloric intake. In fact, one review of studies found that those who experienced sleep deprivation consumed an additional 385 calories per day, with a greater than usual proportion of those calories coming from fat. Another study showed that sleep deprivation led to significant increases in hunger, food craving, portion sizes, and chocolate and fat intakes. The increase in food intake is likely caused by the effect of sleep on the hunger hormone leptin. When you do not get adequate sleep, the body makes less leptin, leaving you hungry and increasing your appetite. Poor sleep may also decrease your resting metabolic rate, although findings are mixed. So let's dive into the third and final outlier on my list, and that is stress. Researchers have long known that rises in the stress hormone cortisol can lead to weight gain. Every time you're stressed, your adrenal glands release adrenaline and cortisol, and as a result, glucose, which is your primary source of energy, is released into your bloodstream. All of this is done to give you the energy you need to escape from a risky situation, also known as the fight or flight response. Once the threat has subsided, your adrenaline high wears off and your blood sugar spike drops. This is when cortisol kicks into high gear to replenish your energy supply quickly. Cue the sugar cravings. Because sugar supplies your body with the quick energy it thinks it needs, it's often the first thing you reach for when you are stressed. The downside to consuming so much sugar is that your body tends to store sugar, especially after stressful situations. This energy is stored mainly in the form of abdominal fat, which can be particularly hard to shed. And so the vicious cycle starts. Get stressed, release cortisol, gain weight, crave more sugar, eat more sugar, gain more weight. Even if you aren't eating foods high in fat and sugar, cortisol also slows down your metabolism, making it difficult for you to lose weight. In 2015, researchers from Ohio State University interviewed women about the stress they had experienced the previous day before feeding them a high-fat, high-calorie meal. After finishing the meal, scientists measured the women's metabolic rates, the rates at which they burn calories and fat, and examined their blood sugar, cortisol, insulin, and cholesterol levels. The researchers found that, on average, women who reported one or more stressors during the prior 24 hours burned 104 fewer calories than non-stressed women. This could result in an 11-pound weight gain in 1 year. Stressed women also had higher insulin levels, a hormone that contributes to fat storage. Now, stress, of course, is hard to predict and handle. One of the best recommendations to deal with stress is our first outlier of drinking more water. Another recommendation is to eat healthier comfort foods like popcorn. Also, go for a walk. Do anything besides eat to de-stress. In conclusion, there may be simple tricks to get you past a roadblock that aren't even diet or exercise related. It could be as simple as drinking more water, getting more sleep. In the next video, I'll dive into one of my favorite tricks I picked up during my transformation video that I still use all these years later: meal timing. We'll see you there.